Dear students, how are you? I hope you are fine. Let's start with our first lesson today from Unit 1, Close-Up B2, Personally Speaking. So now, choose one of these emotions and using facial expressions and body language, try to communicate it to your partner. Number 1, disgust. 2, fear. 3, happiness. 4, sadness. 5, anxiety. Now, can you guess how people are feeling from their body language? Let's see together. Okay, now let's start our first challenge. Look at the picture and tell me how the man might be feeling. Perfect. Disgusted. So, disgusted is an adjective. To describe someone's feeling, we have to use an adjective. So, now disgusted is an adjective and the noun from it is disgust. So, disgust is a strong feeling of disapproval and dislike. Disgust is a strong feeling of disapproval and dislike. Let's practice together. 1. She expressed her disgust at the show by writing a letter to complain. 2. She wrinkled her nose in disgust at the smell. And now let's guess together. What does this photo show? It shows fear. This boy is frightened. What is meant by the word fear? Fear is the feeling that you have when something dangerous, painful, or frightening might happen. Fear is the feeling that you have when something dangerous, painful, or frightening might happen. Okay, now let's have some examples. 1. My biggest fear was that my children would get sick. 2. The sound of gunfire struck fear into the hearts of the villagers. Okay, this photo shows happiness. Happiness. So, happiness is the feeling of being happy. Happiness is the feeling of being happy. Her eyes shone with happiness. Their grandchildren are a constant source of happiness. This photo shows, let's think together. Perfect. Sadness. So, sadness is the feeling of being sad. Sadness is the feeling of being sad. Okay, let's put the word sadness in some examples. 1. It was with great sadness that we learned of his death. 2. Kate felt a great sadness for those who had lost their houses. Anxiety. Anxiety is an uncomfortable feeling of nervousness or worry about something that's happening or might happen in the future. Anxiety is an uncomfortable feeling of nervousness or worry about something that's happening or might happen in the future. Physical activities can help reduce anxiety and depression. There are anxieties over the effects of unemployment, And now, dear students, let's watch a video together. And then, can you guess how people are feeling from their body language? Okay, dear students, after the warming up, let's start our new reading text. Personally speaking, new vocabulary. The first word we have today is body language. Body language. Body language means the movements or possessions of the body that show other people how you are feeling, even though you don't tell them in words. Body language means the movements or possessions of the body that show other people how you are feeling, even though you don't tell them in words. So sometimes we can use our face, our hands, or our body to express some words. Okay, now let's have some examples. I could tell from her body language that she was angry. 2. When you have your arms crossed and folded and tight, this is an example of body language that may indicate you are tense, nervous, or angry. The next word is process. Process means to deal with information. Process is to deal with information. For example, on a computer. I'll take about 10 days to process your application. My brain slowly processed the fact that I was free to leave. The image is processed digitally by computer software. Physical activities can help reduce anxiety and depression. There are anxieties over the effects of unemployment. Communicate. Communicate means to share information with others by speaking, writing, moving your body, or using other signals. Communicate, to share information with others by speaking, writing, moving your body, or using other signals. Our boss is good at communicating her ideas to the team. Dolphins use sound to communicate with each other. React. To act in a particular way as a direct result of something else. React means to act in a particular way as a direct result of something else. Her family reacted with horror when she told them about the crime. 2. He reacted to the news by jumping up and down and shouting. Posture, the way in which someone usually holds their shoulders, neck, and back, or a particular position in which someone stands or sits. Let's practice together. 1. She expressed her disgust at the show by writing a letter to complain. 2. She wrinkled her nose in. Carry out. Carry out is to do or complete something. Carry out, to do or complete something. Our soldiers carried out a successful attack last night. She is prepared to carry out her threat to resign. Her family reacted with horror when she told them about the crime. 2. He reacted to the news by jumping up and down. Neuroscientists are able to record the firing of a single nerve cell. I want to be a neuroscientist to study more about the nervous system. Now let's have a look on the most important words we have in this reading text. Neuroscientist is a scientist who studies the brain and nervous system. Study, a particular piece of research. Automatic, done without thinking. Neutral, neither positive nor negative. Motor, relating to muscles, nerves, and parts of the brain that control movement. Mechanism, a part of your behavior which helps you deal with a difficult situation.
How does fear spread?
It has long been known that fear spreads quickly from person to person. However, until recently, neuroscientists believed that this fear was communicated mainly through facial expressions. Now, a new study has shown that body language may be just as important as facial expressions for communicating fear. It shows that fearful body postures are processed in the emotional part of the brain and lead to an automatic response. Body postures that do not communicate fear are processed differently in the visual part of the brain. Since the link between the emotional part of the brain and action is stronger than the link between the visual part of the brain and action, viewing fearful body expressions may create an automatic response to fear. When we talk about how humans communicate, we always talk about things like language, said Beatrice de Gelder, the neuroscientist who led the study. But just like in the animal world, we also communicate through our bodies, without our conscious minds being much aware of it. Unlike earlier studies, which concentrated on the way the brain reacted to still images of facial expressions, the experiment which de Gelder and her team carried out aimed to prove that fearful body posture can create fear in observers. Since previous studies had used still images, the scientists decided to use stills from video clips. Participants had their brains scanned while they were shown video stills of actors who were showing fear. For example, in one situation, they had just opened a door to find an armed robber waiting for them. They were also shown in neutral situations, pouring a glass of water or combing their hair. In each case, though, the actors' faces were blocked out, so that the participants viewing them could only react to their body posture and not to any facial expressions. The results showed that when participants saw fearful images, the emotional part of the brain was active, as well as regions of the brain connected to motor processes that are responsible for movement. There was a lot more going on in the brain than when the neutral images were shown. These only activated the visual areas of the brain. The response to fear appears to be quite automatic, and this is commonly seen in the animal kingdom. If a flock of birds has been feeding on the ground and one is frightened by something and takes off, the others immediately follow. It is an extremely important evolutionary mechanism, because any bird left behind may become prey. Something similar happens with humans. At a fearful moment, humans, like animals, need to be ready to react quickly, because they are given only a fraction of a second to evaluate the situation. If a fire breaks out, for instance, people quickly adopt the body posture of those close to them. However, our reaction to danger is sometimes slowed down as we try to rationalize fear by asking ourselves whether there is a reason to react. So far, neuroscientists have focused on showing people stills from videos, but they are now interested in finding out what happens in the brain when humans watch moving images. Teams of neuroscientists around the world, including de Gelder's, are carrying out studies in which the participants' brains are scanned while they are watching films. This enables scientists to study how emotional actions are based on movement. In the future, such research may be used in the building of robotic human companions that would be able to perceive, decide, communicate, and react as humans do.
Now time to practice. Complete the exam task. 4 questions from 1 to 6. Choose the answer from A, B, C, or D, which fits best according to the text. Number 1. Scientists have recently discovered that fear... try to think about the right answer. Perfect. Is expressed in the body as much as the face. 2. The automatic response to fearful postures comes from the part of the brain that process. Try to think about the right answer. Perfect. 2B. Emotions. 3. According to de Gelder, try to think. Take your time. Excellent. The right answer is 3B. According to de Gelder, humans don't realize that they are using body language. So, according to de Gelder, humans don't realize that they are using body language. 4. The Gelder's study differed from previous ones in that. Again, the Gelder's study differed from previous one in that. Perfect. It showed images of the body. 4C. It showed images of the body. 5. The study showed that neutral and fearful body postures. Yes. 5A. The study showed that neutral and fearful body postures are processed differently by the human brain. 6. The automatic response to fear. Perfect. 6D. Developed as a way to escape danger. So, the automatic response to fear developed as a way to escape danger. Exam close-up. Identify key information. With multiple choice sentences, read the sentence stems first and underline the key words. Then find a section in the text which matches the underlined keywords in each sentence stem. Finally, read the answers options carefully and check them against the sections of the text to find the correct answer. E. Complete the sentences below with these words: carry out, focus, communicate, process, evaluate, and react. Number 1. It took a moment for the winners to perfect react to the news.